basically, what can I move? I can put stuff, for example, Chris, you have met Chris. Chris gave me something that I can put on my head and I will try to move it. It's just a device with wires and 2 tennis balls. If I put it on my head, like this, it will hopefully stand on my head, but when I move, it doesn't move. So I can move, but it doesn't move, or it can move, but it doesn't move me. So things can move me, things cannot move me. I can move things. I can perhaps move things with my hands. For example, how can I move them? I can either push them or pull them, like this. But how can I push them or pull them? Do I need something apart from my fingers? What can I use? I could use a stick. I could push something with a stick, or I can pull something that is attached to the stick. Can I do the same with a rope? I have no idea. Let's see. I can pull something with a rope, but I cannot push it because rope can be tense, but it breaks under pressure. Like me. So, I cannot do it with a rope. But what about with the balloon? Balloon is somewhere in between. Let's check. A bit more stiff than the rope. I could kind of pull, but if I push, it is a bit more rigid, but it still bends. Perhaps I can move something else with the balloon. Here, perhaps a little pieces of paper. Can I move them? Not too much. What about if I rub the balloon in my shirt? Ooh, much better. So I can move things without touching them. How come? What did I do with the balloon when I rubbed it into my shirt? Perhaps I put some electrons on it. Perhaps some electrons fell from it. I have no idea. Do you know? Sometimes I don't even need to rub things in order to move things. For example, I can take one piece and another piece. Do you know what this is? Sometimes I can just push things away with it. Sometimes it attracts. Is it a magnet? Or is it just me thinking how it should work? Because thoughts are really strong. Perhaps I can convince this spoon to just kind of not move on my forehead. Do I think it and it stays there because I thought it? Am I a magnet? Or is it just simply the shape of my head? I don't know. What made this spoon move? Sometimes it's enough to just let things go and they move. You don't need to propel them. Something else holds them and pulls them. It might be a magnet, it might be electricity, it might be gravity. But gravity is tricky. With gravity, sometimes, when you let go, for a brief second, it still stands still. Why? Observe carefully. So, a spring and the ball attached to it. When I let go of the string, the ball was still holding its place for a little while. Let's see it again, and you can observe it. It holds its place, and when the spring comes to it, it starts falling. So, why? Why doesn't it fall when I let go? Why does it have this delay? I have no idea. Do you? Or I can use this energy of falling, energy of everything, to exhibit to you the rotational energy. The rotational energy I have in my hand, in my palm. So when I take a ball connected with a rope, like this, and I concentrate really, really hard. Look, when I put the ball right here, you see, the energy just straight on. But when I turn my hand, you can see that I have right-sided energy. When I put it back, it stops. But when I put palming the other way, I have left-sided energy. You see, this is just me channeling the energy and then stopping it. But how does it work? Where is this energy hidden? Is it in my hand? Is it in my palm? My left palm? My right palm? I don't know. Let's observe how I can move this rope with a weight, let's call it a pendulum, in different ways. I could just simply do it slowly. If I move it slowly, the weight also moves slowly, at the same frequency as my hand. If I move it rapidly, it mostly stands still, goes up and down a little bit, but not left and right. But if I do it with something in between, you see that it starts to exhibit moving left and right. By the way, if I just let it go, this frequency is the love frequency of this pendulum. It loves it. So even if I do really small motions, I can propel enough energy inside for it to move. So I don't even need to move my hand really rapidly. But when I move it in a different way, I can also stop it quite quickly. How does this work? Perhaps we can take a look at two pendulums. What about if I have two pendulums of the same length? Like this. Oops. Two pendulums. So, and they start wiggling left and right. You see that they wiggle with the same frequency. Even if one wriggles really with a small amplitude and one with large amplitude. They have the same time in which they go from one side to the other. What would I need to change the times they need to go back and forth? Perhaps length. Let's see. You see? The longer one takes more time to go back and forth. And this is quite similar if you take a look at our legs. Our legs are also pendulums. Okay, just a bit longer and they don't have a ball at the end. Pendulums, and when we walk, they just move here and there. The longer the leg, the slower they move. So perhaps this is why little kids always run. Because they need to, because their leg is short and you see tick, 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 tick. That's why they're always running around. But you, when you are running, are you running like this or like this? Why are you running like this? Why are you bending your arms at the elbow when you are running? How fast does your hand move when you have it stretched? Or how fast can you move your hand when you bend it? Try to run a marathon or a sprint 100 meters like this and see if the time will change your best result. So, when we move, when we walk, we usually carry some equipment. And if we carry this equipment, it lengthens our arm. It's another pendulum on our pendulum. Does it bother you? Should the weight be small or large? What happens when you are carrying a large amount of weight, a large amount of groceries in the bag? Does it really change the frequency of your hand, or do you change the frequency of your walk? It's best that you find out the next time when you do that. And wouldn't it be nice when we are walking like relaxed, you know, that our legs would be kind of connected together, so that we don't even have to think how to walk. Well, we don't do it anyway, but even some kind of connection would be right, you know, some kind of cogwheels to have inside. Some animals, grasshoppers, some grasshoppers, and preferably young grasshoppers, I don't know, you have to check, they have cogwheels connecting their legs. So, It would be kind of a shame when they jump that with one leg they would be a little bit slow. So one leg would already extend and then the other one, and they would jump to the left or to the right. That's why they have legs connected inside with a kind of miniature cogwheels. So when one leg starts, it propels also the other one. So only the strength can differ. But you can check this and you will see if it's only grasshoppers or also other animals. Young or old animals. I have no clue. You have to find out for yourself. Ha! And we have mentioned that sometimes with gravity, and here with gravity when you walk, you have a small problem, you know? Because when you walk, you always put yourself up and down, up and down. You lift yourself. And in order to continue walking, you have to fall down. And this depends on Earth's gravity. So the amount of time it takes for you to make the step depends on how high you have lifted yourself also. If you have lifted for 1 centimeter your hips, then they need to fall down for 1 centimeter. And you cannot pull them with your muscles, you can only extend them up with your muscles. This might not seem such a big deal, but 1 centimeter, for you to fall 1 centimeter, it's very, very small amount of time, 0.04 seconds. But in 100 steps, this will amount to 4 seconds. Is this why race walkers walk like this, you know, the strange walk, so that they don't have to lift their center of gravity up and down? I have no idea. I don't even know what I'm talking about sometimes. I don't know. But gravity is crucial, and gravity usually just pulls things down. Well, it doesn't pull so much as things fall. But there are cases when things in the gravitational field go up. Do you remember any? By the way, do you hear anything? The whistling sounds. I don't. But I know that there's something behind me, in the corner. Do you know what's inside those 2 balloons? Can you guess? I'm using my telepathic powers and I'm kind of sensing that you are saying there's helium in one of them. Yeah, in the top one. How do you know it's helium? How do you know it's helium? Because it's up, okay? Why is it up? Because it's less dense than the air. Okay, that's a good answer. Now, the question is, how do you know it's helium? Is helium the only gas that is less dense than air? It could be hydrogen. So you don't know if it's helium or not. You don't even know where is helium, because this is a video. I can manipulate with things you see. At least one of the things I have told you today, or will be completely rubbish on purpose. How will you know which one? You'll have to make your own research. But by the way, I said things sometimes in the air can go also up. There is helium in this balloon, and helium is less dense than the air, so it goes up in the air. And here, I don't know if you see it, but there's something else rising here. Let's observe what it is. It's water boiling. And boiling water, we got some steam here. Let's put it in a glass. It also goes up in the air, so we could say that it's probably less dense than the air. What about if I take another glass and put some cold water inside? And now I'll put some liquid nitrogen, really cold substance, in it, and let's see what happens. Will it go up or down? This one goes down. This one? First, it goes kind of down, but then it starts going up again. Now, why is that? Liquid nitrogen is really cold. Hot water, cold water. What happened? I don't know. You know, the strange thing about move is that it's also kind of obstructed sometimes by friction or by drag. Now, I'm not obstructed by friction or by drag, but I am a bit limited by the time. And the time is now over. So, I hope you enjoyed the move a little bit and will enjoy other moves even more.